thanks for watching. So now, a quick thing I want to touch on real fast. I had extended the sale for all the digital downloads, all 33 downloads for $89.99. I extended it till Monday. A lot of people sent me emails about extending it. I had it for only the weekend, but I'm gonna keep it going and keep it up until Monday. So, take advantage of this. It's usually $300, but you get all 33. It's a lot of work I put in for only $89.99. Thanks to the people who support it and who appreciate how much work and time goes into, all those videos and everything I've been putting out over the years. So I appreciate the people who took advantage and really understand, how much of a value it is to get it at that price. So I'm trying to get people caught up. So a lot of people want to get caught up on the videos. A lot of people who are new to the channel who want to get caught up on, all the stuff we've been getting into. It's a lot of people who have no clue about the Saturn Satan series and everything I'll be bringing up and talking about. So this is to get you guys caught up real fast. And, I did this to try to help out and bring the cost to an affordable level for some people who may not be doing as good as, you guys are. So I appreciate the support. And it's going to be up until Monday, then that's it. That's going to probably be the end of it. Probably won't come up for that price again. So thanks for the support. Also, to everybody who ordered DVDs, everything has shipped. So if you ordered a DVD, it should be on the way to you. Everything has shipped. Probably was a delay because so many people have been ordering the economics DVDs and everything like that. So it's kind of sort of backed up, which part 3 will be out soon. So again, I appreciate the support on that. And there's a lot of good information in those 2 DVDs. Excuse my voice, Eagles won. I'm from Philly. Won a lot of money betting on the Eagles. We'll talk about that. And of course, I was hoarse for like 2 days, or else I would have been put this video out. And there's just so many Eagles fans out here in Las Vegas, and we tore up, we celebrated, and it was great. And to touch on that, I was telling people that those of you who follow me on Instagram, those who got the hint, who took the hint, basically was predicting the Eagles to win because I seen the signs, and it's just something that I'm into, that I've been doing for years, and I've been making money off sports. I've been betting on sports since I was a teenager. My uncle used to work at the glass factory in Philadelphia. They used to bring these office pulls, like raffles, home, and these sports betting tickets. He used to give them to us and tell us pick winners to pick college football, everything like that. And if we won, we got $100. So me being young and picking, and when you're young and you get $100 bill, for picking sports, you remember that. My first $100 bill was from that. So it's something that stuck with me, and I've always been into sports, especially football, and always been into sports betting. It's something that I do, I'm going to say professionally, because I do it constantly and I make good money doing it. It's one of the reasons why I didn't mind moving to Las Vegas. And it's something that has made me a lot of money. So I made a lot of money betting on the Eagles. Yes, I mean a lot of money, a lot. And the reason why I was able to do that, and part of the topic of this video, is just really being, really staying diligent and being conscious and not playing with this stuff. I never play with anything that I talk about with you guys as far as consciousness and this energy and understanding the universe and how this stuff works. And because I'm really serious about this stuff, I see things. And this is something we're going to touch on in meditation part 2. But it's about understanding the memory. It's like, when you get into consciousness and you start getting all this information into you, it's something you can't keep, at the ready on a conscious level. It's like, when you learn something, math or what have you, if you don't constantly practice it, after a while you forget. Like a lot of us, we can't remember what we learned in high school, like calculus and a lot of the math and geometry. We don't remember that stuff. We took the tests and everything. We studied, we crammed. But once we passed those classes and passed the test, we pretty much forgot about that stuff. And a lot of us can't recall it because we're not, consciously every day using it. It's not repetitious. So it's the same thing with consciousness. It's the same thing with getting this information and constantly learning and understanding new things about consciousness. And you begin to recall stuff and pick up things when it comes to your attention. So we're going to touch on this in the meditation part 2, which is going to be coming up soon. And it's really deep, and you'll really understand what I mean. But with the Super Bowl and what football and sports and everything like that, you guys got to understand something. And I touched on this in a previous video, if you've seen it. And I said before, you have a lot of people who believe that sports is fixed, like the NFL and NBA is fixed. All that stuff is fake and it's, entertainment and whatever like that. It's not. And it may seem that way because it seems like they can predict who the winner will be. And when you start to look at certain things, it's almost like as if, it's cheating, or they pulling for a certain team more than others, like, Tom Brady, who was like the token face of the NFL. You got to understand something. And, it goes into that whole thing of you can steer things a certain way, but you can't, no matter how much money you can't pay a person to catch a ball. You can't pay for a throw to be accurate and on time. I mean, you can pay somebody, hey, make this throw, but you can't be 100% sure he's going to catch the ball. You can't be 100% sure the throw is going to be made. And, you would have to buy the entire team, both teams, the refs, everybody would have to be in on it. What's going on is, when you begin to understand how the universe works, it's how these people, which I touched on, I believe, in the Saturn and Satan series, how they can understand future events. I mean, like predict the future, or, have like psychic abilities, or to be able to know the outcome of a certain event, let's just say. So, when you start seeing stuff, you pick up on it. And me having the knowledge and understanding of football and knowing about the history, I was able to pick up on a few things that, really gave me the understanding that, hey, the Eagles going to win the Super Bowl this year. Now, you had a couple people, Eagles fans, actually get tattoos before the season even started. The Eagles winning the Super Bowl. That's one thing that, piqued my curiosity and was popping up in my head a couple times. Another thing that was popping up in my head, which I didn't really realize, until our quarterback went down, Carson Wentz, when he went down, I think it was week 13, that his number is 11. And our backup, Nick Foles' number is 9. So you have 9-11. Really important, because whenever you look at any of the major things that happened within the Super Bowl, it happened at 9/11. Now, when you go back and you look, if you remember the Super Bowl when the lights went out, you had the 49ers versus the Baltimore Ravens. And remember, the lights went out. The game resumed at exactly 9/11. And it's something that they put up there that you can see that the game resumed at 9/11. It was the same thing last year in the Super Bowl, that the turning point for when Tom Brady and them came back happened at 9/11. It was when the fumble occurred. And when I say 9/11 at time, I mean it being our time. It was 9/11, as it said, Eastern time. So the turning point, Super Bowl last year, when Tom Brady got the ball back after the fumble by Matt Ryan, 9/11. So when you start to pick up on this stuff, you see that. It's like, that's one thing. But other things, you start to see so many different things dealing with the Super Bowl and the Eagles. And just, it was too many coincidences. And you really started to see that more once our quarterback went down. You have the whole thing with the Raiders. The Eagles needed to beat the Raiders to clinch the number 1 seed, which would basically assure us, 2 games we win, we go to the Super Bowl. The Raiders was the team that we first played in the Super Bowl. The first time, when it was changed to Super Bowl, the name, the Raiders was the first team we played in the Super Bowl, which the Eagles lost. So that was one thing. You had the same thing that happened to the Philadelphia Eagles happen to the Raiders last year when their quarterback went down, and they went into the playoffs and everything, and they ended up losing because unless they starting quarterback, the backup wasn't good enough. So you have that. You also have Nick Foles, the backup who took over for Carson Wentz, setting a record against the Raiders. Like, he had his best game, his best season that year. He just killed, and he set that record throwing 7 touchdowns, or tied the record throwing 7 touchdowns against the Raiders. So you have that history. You have our offensive coordinator, Frank Reich, actually being a backup in the Super Bowl. You have our coach, Doug Peterson, who the last team he beat when he was a quarterback was the New England Patriots. So it was just so much. It's a whole lot more I'm leaving out, but it's a lot that was there that was just pointing to, the Eagles winning. The simple fact that 2004, when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl against New England, remember, we had to beat Atlanta Falcons and we had to beat the Minnesota Vikings to get to the Super Bowl that season. we just played them in reverse. We played the Minnesota Vikings first in the divisional round, and then we played Atlanta, Michael Vick and them, to go to the Super Bowl. This season, it was the reverse. We played Atlanta first, and we beat the Minnesota Vikings to go to the Super Bowl, which the Super Bowl was hosted in their home. So it was that. Then you had the whole thing with Jacksonville and New England, which the weird thing was, when the Eagles played the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2004, it was in Jacksonville. So that was weird that the Patriots had to beat Jacksonville to play, to go to the Super Bowl. So all that was there. It was just weird with so many different things. And to you guys, it may not be enough to go ahead and put a bunch of money in, but when you understand how this stuff works, you see it there. So it's a lot of games you can bet on. You can, if you understand this, you can go ahead and bet on the Jacksonville versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you know Jacksonville's going to win, you can go ahead and bet on that whole Jacksonville versus New England. New England's going to win because they're going to set the stage for the rematch between Brady and the Eagles. I mean, all that was up there for you to bet on. And if you got it and you understood it, you could make a lot of money. And I think a lot of people got it because it was so many $1 million bets on the Eagles to win. Somebody bet $4 million. It was just crazy. So, of course, you'd be cautious because I was looking at the whole thing as being so obvious that maybe it's a trap to get people to bet a lot, and then they'll probably end up losing. So I was always worried about that. Maybe it's a setup, these people's crooked. But it was just too much pointing towards the Eagles and Super Bowl, that to me, it was a lot for them to win. I took the gamble. That's what they call it gambling. And I bet a lot, and I won a lot. So I had, it was 17 of you who got the hint. I got the messages, by the way, from a lot of you. I had 17 people who took the hint on Instagram and they bet money, won a lot of money. I had 17 people go ahead and message me, email me, thanking me for the hint and them betting the money. They won a lot of money. So, it's just something that, I've been into for a while, as I said. And I had also bet on the World Series, which I won money on that. I already talked about how that prediction was there. And for the last year, the year before that, for Chicago winning the World Series, all those numbers was there, which was crazy. The same thing when Boston won the World Series, bet money on that, all those numbers was there. Same thing with the NBA Finals. I mean, I'm telling you, they put it out there. They put it out there. You just got to know the signs and know what to look for because they know. And it's weird how you see this stuff and, of course, it's 50-50. You don't know if it's going to work out like that or not. You taking a risk. And I don't want to be telling people straight up, hey, bet this, and it's a setup, and people end up losing money. I would feel bad about that. So I don't go out and tell people to go ahead and bet and, put money on whatever, just to go ahead and be mindful of what's going on and take a look and, take that risk if you choose to. So I'm basically wearing all this tribute to betting and gambling in Vegas, which a lot of people made so much money off of this man in Vegas. I think more people made money betting on Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather in this city than anything else. Boxing in Nevada and Las Vegas has been really beneficial to a lot of people who bet, because it's a straight up thing. If you watch boxing, you know how good a person is. This guy's good. He should be able to beat this guy. And it's a straight bet. Who's going to win? Who's going to land the first punch? You can bet on all kinds of stuff here in Vegas. So it's crazy what you can do. But, the whole point, the purpose of this video, I want to get too much into all this. I just want to, let you guys know it's when you're true to what you follow, everything, stuff just comes naturally. You start to pick up on stuff. And that's what you guys got to understand and get in those lanes as far as picking up things that come to you, information, energy that come to you, and knowing what to do with them, know how to process them into real physical things for yourself. And, this is just from knowledge and me being able to read and understand how these people work and use it to my benefit. And you have a lot of people that it's not really into truly the whole conscious movement and understanding about energy. A lot of people still think this stuff is a joke and it's spooky. And a lot of people are not really serious about, any of this stuff. A lot of people just want information to be able to, act like they're smarter than somebody, or to, beat up on a religious person by, crushing their hopes in their religion or what have you. I have a lot of people who really love the religious information because they like to debate. And this is what some people like to do, but not really seriously into spirituality and understanding, the balance between this physical and spiritual. And that's what it's all about, as I talked about. So in getting into this stuff and getting into everything, a lot of people just ain't serious. They don't know how to really use this information to benefit them, which is what I got into in the energy and the frequency and everything, talking about that and attracting things into your life to benefit you. And when you're on a certain wavelength, when you're doing a certain thing, you're following a certain frequency, you attract certain things into your life. Now, if you watch the economics part 2, I got into how I make money, how I've been making money for years. So, and you see what I was doing, and being in that whole situation of attracting money and being in sales and selling and, being in things that's generating money, you build this frequency. You have this whole energy that you are constantly in that's dealing with attracting money. I go play the slot machines, I win. I bet, I win. I have not had a financial hiccup in, over a decade. I mean, everything has been great because I've been following this philosophy for a long time. And one of the reasons why I set out to keep doing what I'm doing and putting out this information is to show you guys that, one, you don't got to get on your knees and pray to no damn Jesus. You don't got to pray to no white gods and these freaking crosses or Jesus on the cross or whatever to get, success, to have success. You don't got to slave, for some corporation or company for the rest of your life. There's really real ways that you can begin to generate money and build wealth. And it really begins with a mindset. I mean, how many times have you seen, TV specials and everything like that of people like me on there who got money, who talking about do this and do that and do this. And a lot of us, we just blow it off, whatever. It's a scam to it. It's some bullshit to it. And here you got a real dude who came from nothing, came from zero, who is trying to show you guys that it's possible. It's possible for you to really get into a whole mindset and get into a whole frequency of just generating money. But it really takes work. I mean, there's just no way around it. You really got to go in and start to put in the work, and you got to stop looking at stuff as being impossible, that you can't do it, that it's too hard, or only white people can do this, or it's something I can't really achieve, or I got other issues, or, I'm not able. It takes time. We want stuff so fast. Everybody wants fast money, get rich quick. And you really got to put in work in the beginning. And then you watch it grow. You put in the hard work, which is the foundation, as I talked about. You're starting off strong. And then now, everything from here on out, I mean, you cool. You got a strong foundation. You're building on something strong. So everything you do from here on out is going to be fine. It's standing on something strong. You can begin to build from it. So, with people really not taking advantage of being conscious and understanding that when you say you're conscious, you can see the flaws in this system and what they're doing and how they're using us, as I talk about. So I've been able to benefit from it and use the system to work for me. And that's basically what the 2 videos was about, the 2 DVDs on personal economics. And what I touched on a lot is just you really understanding that we gotta, 1, we're spiritual beings. 2, is a balance between spirituality and material. You got to understand that. 3, that you really can't be sitting around thinking that this man or something magical or something, spooky is going to come and save you from the situation that you are in. Only you can do that. And you have to have the understanding to do that. You have to know how to do it and what to do and set out to do it. Now, for those of you who really watch the DVDs and watch the videos and everything on YouTube, you understand it's an overall theme to what I put out. It's a message that I'm talking about, and I feel you have messaged me and touched on this, hidden theme that I have, for the videos I put out, and kudos to you guys who actually got it. But, one of the things I do press upon is really understanding about energy and understanding the dream world, the nature of reality, this whole physical world. And, the main things I really touch on is for when, you prepare. You're preparing yourself really to ascend. And that's what this is about, really getting your spiritual body ready. And, of course, you have to have your physical body ready as well, because during this time, you need your physical body to prepare your spiritual body so that when you can ascend, you ascend correctly. That's what the whole Merkabah is about, as I touched on. So, of course, you have to live here. You have to be here. That's why there's a balance. You have the physical body that's going to take care of the spiritual body. Without the physical body, the spiritual body cannot grow. You have to do the correct things with the physical body. And in understanding this system, it's life, existence itself in the physical form and how things are, you have to really prepare yourself for that life. And this is one of the reasons why I got into Buddhism, is because Buddhism is something that prepares you for the physical world. And, Buddhism, talks about, life is suffering, and, the want and desires of flesh. Same thing we talk about in the Bible. And, having no karmic consequences, and understanding, that you don't have to suffer. And this is what we are going through in a physical body, in a society, to where there's suffering because of want. And the only way to really truly remove yourself from all of that desire and want and everything is to completely leave the system. And it's not realistic for a lot of you. A lot of you, if you try to right now get up and walk out your home and just go out into the wild and survive, you can't do it. You can't do it because you have been programmed not to, because you have seen so many things that you want. You have a future plan for yourself that's not going to allow you to do such a thing. But you could get rid of, a whole bunch of want and desires and worries about bills and all that stuff if you just got up and walked out the door, walked into the woods or what have you, and just lived off the land. But, a bunch of more, wants and desires were formed. Sure, you don't have to worry about your rent and everything like that, but you would probably miss, family and friends who don't want to come live out there with you. You would desire, affection, because, if you're a man or a woman, it's going to be tough to get somebody to take that journey with you. But not only that, it's going to be, foods you might miss and activities you might miss. And, you're going to have a whole new cabal, a whole new, issue of wants and desires and things and that you're going to miss, if you do something like that because of the program and the system that we've been brought up in. So it's not realistic to do such a thing. So suffice it to say, you have to deal with this physical world, which we understand because of this system. We need money to be happy. We need to be able to buy what we want. We want to be able to be in a position where we're comfortable. And a lot of people, we have this thing to where, I was this way when I first started out. I was saying, let me get financially stable before I start doing all this conscious stuff. Because right now I got to worry about money. And that was the issue. And I realized that I was doing everything the wrong way. I should have been focused more on the consciousness and worried about the money later, because with the conscious stuff, everything just fixes itself. And so that's what I did. And things began to just work out. So what I wanted you guys to understand that I talked about in personal economics is understanding, one, that, a lot of the stuff you guys are seeing on social media and on YouTube or what have you, it's just a lot of the stuff is unrealistic. And a lot of the things that we want for the conscious community is just not going to happen because of the mindsets of people. And one of the things that really changed my whole attitude towards, the conscious movement was, as I talked about before, just the whole thing on, the kid that got shot by the woman, and just the response from so many black people. That really showed me how far we fell. And I had a lot of hope for us just one day just coming together and uniting. But ever since then, it changed. It was just like, wow, not that I gave up on my people. It's just that, I gave up on the idea that we're going to just be able to just snap out of it and just all come together because it's something that happens to us. And at this point, if we can't see what they're doing, to us, that the cops is killing us. Every time we look up, there's some kind of racist stuff going on towards black people. If everything we've been through is not enough for us to just snap out of it and come together, it's not ever going to happen. So my advice to you guys who really listen and pay attention is to get your shit together. And that's what I was talking about. That's why I'm putting the whole economics thing out. So you personally can get yourself together in a better financial situation and use this system to work for you and your family and to set yourself up in a better situation, for the future. And that's what it's about. As I said, collectively, we're not going to do it. There's too many egos. There's too much religion and problems in a way for us to just snap out of it and come together. But if we as individuals got our shit together, did what we were supposed to do, became financially set, stable, and conscious at the same time, everything else will work itself out.